and I'm in the game, so you should be able to join. Oh, that's your YouTube. Um, want my YouTube. There we go. The only one I have to do that on is Facebook. Oh, I thought you meant like reconnect. I have to on my Facebook every about once a month. Okay, there's your stream up. And then the only other thing I have left is my Facebook one. Oops. There's that. Got to get my damn chin. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm on your Twitch, so
loading.
Mm-hmm.
Timed out before.
Yeah, but I think you did what we usually do, which is you tried to come in while I was not.
Might have not been, yeah.
I got it. That goes somewhere. Oh. That might be it. Oh, cause does that fix it? Yeah, I think so. Because because I've been watching streams and stuff, I've had everything turned on, so.
Oh, that's right. Parked it over.
I'm going around the outside and I'm just in front of you. If you just go around the outside, you'll catch up to me.
Okay, you haven't. Must be too far away. It
Yeah.
hasn't loaded in.
If I think it was the last time we did this. We got it so I'm going around the outside and then you've just been able to unload me and I've been able to just keep going as you do,
Yeah.
so.
Well, and after a bit here, I'll probably get in 25 and yeah. Guess I haven't been able to watch too much of your streams. I mean, I've caught a little bit of it, but others gotten to experience the weather yet.
I have there's been, I don't know if it's reports of I don't know what they are. If it's, I've heard some people say it's acid rain or supposed to be acid rain, and I've heard other people say that it's supposed to be hail. But I've experienced a little bit of that, which is just basically little crop circles. Maybe about like in real life, be about 30 foot wide. Um, but I have not seen a tornado on my maps yet. But I'm only in I think I'm only on my second year. I'm just going into my
Well, and I
third.
imagine
Is
they're
that right?
probably sort of try to keep them pretty random, unless you
Yeah.
and turn on some.
My my one friend in my one friend had 2 years in a row we got hit by tornadoes, and he's like, "Well, I'm not doing that anymore." But everybody else I know kind of shut him off too, and I'm just like, or I shouldn't say everybody else. I know a lot of people have just been shutting them off, so that they happen, but they don't damage anything. But I'm still on the I want it to, so.
Yeah, well, figures that's what you got to. Um, you got to experience. But I mean, just like the rain with the mud tracks and yeah, mud issues, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't. I now that part I haven't really ran in the mud. Like if it's supposed to rain, I just fast forward through it because that's technically what you would do is you wouldn't necessarily be working in it.
Yeah.
Or now, maybe if you were trying to get the field finished and you only had like a pass or two left, I would maybe do that. But I haven't been in that situation yet.
Well, I guess that's the part I wondered is, yeah, you lose some crop, you low test weights, stuff like stock, drying.
Well, yeah, they just if you what how they dock it, it's still the same as it was in 22, which is if you harvest in the rain, you get docked yield
Okay.
because it's they don't like set it up so that it docks you um they don't set it up so it docks you on a ticket or anything. They dock you on the yield when you're cutting it. When you're hung on that corner.
I know. I That's the thing. I had my camera positioned right, and well, I have to swing this wide to get. Well, I've done this.
Just back out of it. I
Now,
think that's the only way you can move.
hang on. I well, I well, that's what I was trying to do. I did have to get used to the controls a little bit. um, well, this makes for good content.
Well, I'm starting to buy fields in
There we
25, so I still don't own much equipment, but
Oh,
I think if I had someone join me, I could still figure something out, or we could do contracts or something.
well, that's what I wondered is where you're.
Yeah, I bought. If you're in tomorrow, I can show you. But I'm starting to buy the fields around the farm, and I've got two more in that set that I'm gonna buy, and then the next series I've got to I'm gonna buy. I need to kind of wait until there's some lot of equipment out that I want and need. Um, so I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know once I get to the part where I bought all the fields if I'm gonna stop playing that map for a little bit until the equipment I want comes out, or if I'm gonna continue to play it and just make do with what I've got until um I haven't decided that part yet. I'm gonna be full by the time we get back.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
push.
That may not work.
Yeah, let's see. I might have to use. How you do?
Go to F12.
Oh,
F12.
setting.
It's the second one down, and then at the very top of it. Go to the left. All the way to the left. All the way to the left.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No, you're not on right. Go all the way to the left. There. Now click on that, and then go. Yes. There you go. I
that
don't
doesn't.
know. So then I might be. Should be in there.
Well, I can't.
Hold on. Um. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, well then, get out of the tractor.
Well, I am out of.
Okay.
Oh wait, that actually might have worked. Hang on. Might have actually.
If you need to, I don't know why you don't come up one of these two buildings if you need to make the turn wider, or
Well, I guess I could come around.
why don't you come around these big bends?
Maybe I should. That. Oh, I mean, it'll.
Oh, I meant to tell Derek we were playing tonight.
Oh, I was just gonna say something.
Well, actually, I take that back. I wasn't even expecting to play tonight, but I meant to tell him that, um, I meant to tell him next time.
Yeah.
Because up until a few hours ago, I wasn't expecting to be here, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, the
Well, I
whole
needed
thing
to.
kind of just.
I've been. Well, we've been. Well, missing each other. Well, actually, no. We call each other, but it's always at the bad time and can't really talk. Because I want to know if you got that pellet stove furnace. Gonna buy used one. Guy had one for sale, and then he put it downstairs. But he's just kind of asking me how I run and should he burn corn and all that. I think he should, but it adds a lot to it. Might not want to do, but I was gonna tell him because I got a kind of a, because they probably have, unreliable electrical service, um, but kind of a battery backup option that'll run it. That's what I'm doing.
I'm on the backside.
because that was probably a month ago now that we talked.
Oh, dude, I just saw something on Do you have a white PLA?
White? No, I actually don't. I'd have to buy
Oh,
some.
so I'm gonna send you something on Instagram if you ever look there. But I just saw a thing. They used white and they um made a Coca-Cola can, and then they put a light in it. And so the reason why I want to do, I I have I have these solar lights. I have a solar light that doesn't fit what I was gonna put it in, and I was thinking about using it, and I kind of wanted to make a skull one.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna make one out of metal, but man, if you had white, I would be like,
Yeah. Well, white's a color I probably should get to have. I still haven't
although
figured out. I haven't figured out with my slicing software. Maybe I need to try a different one to program in stops so I can do filament changes. I'm not, so like at the moment I basically can only do color because of that. Okay, I'm topped up, so
yeah.
I won't get stuck this time. So you should be able to get around. But because there is a way to do it with a printer like mine that only can have one color loaded at a time. But you got to tell it where to stop, and then of course you kind of got to babysit it because you got to manually change the color.
Yeah. Oh, my shirts, by the way, speaking of stuff, designing and stuff. So my goal was to have it done this Christmas. Didn't really happen. I tried to work on it. So I know anybody watching this stream probably won't know what I'm talking about, but that white background that was on behind, I didn't realize that I thought I could shut that layer off, and then it would just be the pieces.
T-shirt. Well, so you mean you didn't have a transparent background layer? Or...
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have trouble with that too. Yeah.
I wonder, is there a way to maybe set it transparent
Well,
after the fact? Because really, that's all I really need. And then
you should.
then it would
Well,
work.
maybe. Depends on the software or whatever. I mean, um, not within the T-shirt design thing, but like in whatever software you're designing, should
Well,
be able to.
I'm using GIMP.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to because you have. Well, even if you flattened it, I think you can unflatten and then and work each layer. I haven't used GIMP in a long time, so I guess I don't remember where it's at, but I'm almost darn certain can just add a background layer or make the background transparent.
Okay.
Thing. There are free like app, like online websites that'll remove backgrounds or make transparent backgrounds. Problem is if you got something that's inside of something, probably won't pick it up as, oh, that's part of the background, and won't. So, yeah, you probably have to natively do it. And
Okay, well, I'll see if I'm. So I guess I was thinking about what I was gonna, because I tried to accomplish something every weekend. So anyways, that's what happened. Is like, well, there's a couple things that happened. I would say I did learn some more stuff on doing that stuff this Christmas break. I still didn't quite get where I want to be, but I learned a little bit more, and I think what I learned will finally get me to the end, so to speak. But there's a one, there's one T-shirt design company that actually Streamlabs does, and it's integrated in.
Well,
Pretty easy to do. The only problem is,
well, are they print? Are they like print on demand and drop ship?
yeah, it
Okay,
looked like
good.
it, yeah.
Because that's what I was
And
trying to explain in text.
it didn't even told me how much it'd make a shirt. And
Yeah. Well, most of them will do that. It's just, and I remember we talked
hey,
about this, and
hey, Lana,
I couldn't remember all the ones that I had sort of looked up. Because here's the deal. I started up, and this was, of course, years ago when this was a newer thing, kind of.
mhm.
YouTube had an integration, um, or Teespring hooked up with YouTube. Now they just call themselves Spring, but and it integrated seamlessly within your YouTube channel. So like it just
Mhm.
automatically displays whatever it is you have. I mean, you can pick and choose per video, or you can just
Yeah,
let it auto.
but
But
so the problem with the Streamlab one that is, let's just say, okay, what I'm trying to put together is more like a grunt style type shirt, where
yeah,
there's stuff on the front, there's stuff on the sleeves, and the company that Streamlab uses won't let me do anything but a front.
oh, because like the
And so,
ones I use will do front, back, sleeves, print all over. I mean, you got to kind of design your thing so it'll sort of look. But
yeah,
here's the thing: what I'm using, I'm not what I'm set up with and have used, I'm not happy with. It's like, and here's what I'm not happy about. It's fine, but they're like the products you can have are somewhat limited. I feel are limited, or they're limited for. It's like, you know, stuff I don't care to appeal to my audience. I mean, like I said, somebody buys a shirt here and there. Like in a year, I make $3 probably. You know, on t-shirt, on t-shirts. That's like literally. Well, I don't promote it either. I don't even. So it's like people have to accidentally find it, and they can. Well, and they can get to my stores from my website and stuff like that. Clicking on, I put. I guess here's what I don't like, and this is what you need to consider with Streamlabs, or I think I mentioned, I know one I think I've looked at, Spreadshirt is one, and others. But here's what I don't like about Spring is the way they group the items. Like they group them as almost, and see, I don't want to do like a campaign. I want just like go to a store, a web store, and
mm-hmm.
they got, well, like, can't like organize your stuff. It's organized in groups, and it's like, oh, name your group. So I like have a Barn Fresh, and then I have little tire guy with arms, call him Speedy, and I got that. But it's like you can't. Well, and then here's the deal: they upgraded their platform. My older designs didn't come over because I need to redo them, and I haven't got around. I've done a couple, but I haven't gone around to it. It just is, the presentation part is clunky. Like
Mm-hmm.
how you can customize what you are presenting is just, I don't like it. It's clunky. I don't have enough. I can't just, okay, I just want this thing as a shirt, but it has to be in a campaign, or kind of, or, well, I call it a campaign, but like a group. And I don't want it in a group. I just want it when you click on t-shirts, it's there, and I want it to be in a certain order above. Yeah, so I feel like I lose out on a couple of these things that I feel like, these stickers and a poster, because I made a poster of my bikes and stuff like, and they're high quality. I've ordered samples and they're nice. Um, but I don't think people can find them. That's, that's, and I can't individually link to, like, if I'm on a Facebook group and like, hey, you might like this shirt, kind of wink, nod, nod, kind of thing. But it's relevant to the discussion, let's just say, not just
Yeah.
spamming my out there. But let's say, okay, my bighorn, sounds like a bighorn. There's a thread about that, and people, I could say, hey, here's a shirt, and I'd like to buy it from me. I fully disclose. It's like, hey, my stuff. I'll get paid if you buy something. Not down with that. Don't buy it. Kind of thing. But I
Yeah.
can't even just link that shirt. Like, it doesn't show. Yeah, it's just like whatever Streamlab might be better. Well, that's the thing. On Twitch, I tried to link it to there so it would show under those cards and stuff, like under the video player.
Mm.
Don't know how to make that work with Spring. So, like, I guess what I'm saying is just try some out, and but just make sure they're a print on demand type of deal, because you don't want to have to mess with the shipping and stuff. Like, I know what to do to run a web store. I just don't want to run a web store.
Yeah.
Like, I already have done that in another life. This is my hobby. I don't want to really have to, I'm not all in that way. So, like, don't use Spring. I cut my teeth on it, and I know what I don't want. So, and here's the thing: just like you getting these shirts around and trying, it seems like, oh, it should be simple just to get around. Yeah. Well, I need to get something new, better set up, and maximize, the audience I do have. There is people that do want to support me, but maybe they don't understand or don't want to pay or donate. Like, kind of like buying subscriptions on Twitch. I mean, you gotta be a Twitch person to really even understand it. And here the thing is I understand it, and it's a little bit clunky to just buy the subscription. I mean, they make it as easy, but again, you're just someone drive-by viewer, may not know how to. Oh.
Yeah.
And that's why, a shirt or a mug or a this or a sticker or something, it's easily purchasable through a, like what looks like a common web store. Somebody might buy that or support that way rather than like click the little heart, give a thanks and all that, because Google's asking for PayPal or Google Pay or all these other payment. Or I'm distrustful of some of that.
Well, so the one on Streamlabs, like, I went through and set everything up already. All I have to do now is just, like, if I had a design that I wanted to throw on there. But it was, I'm pretty sure it's all print on demand, and in fact, they, like, if one shirt sold, they will turn around and they send the money to my PayPal.
Yeah. Well, and good. That's what you want. So, like, if somebody buys one shirt, they'll print, ship it to them. Because there's other companies, other ways to do it, where it's like, okay, you do this big push. I mean, I know you watch some stream where it's like, oh, limited time and blah blah blah, and it's like people are pre-ordering and then they have to wait till the campaign ends before they get their stuff. Like, I don't want that. I just
bands do that too.
Yeah, and well, when you got hundreds of thousands of people and then thousands of people on stream at any given time, that might work, because there's people that'll might do that, and if you got a big enough brand and all that. But we're not there, and we're never going to be there, and I don't know if I want to be there.
My goal was just to make something that I wanted to wear, and like, if someone else wants to buy it, great, and if not, then well, I'll just buy it myself and pay myself back a little bit,
Yeah, well, no, exactly. That's kind of my deal too, is just have something, and a little bit of it is why I've done that all over the years, is it's just, even if not to truly make money, it's just mostly because, in casual conversation, or people say, oh, you got a website, then look it up, or you can say, yeah, I have merch things, because most people don't even remotely don't even do half of what we do, and we're not for nobodies. You know.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, here's the deal. I've kicked this around for 10 years, setting up, and I think I'm just going to pull the trigger. But you know, getting some Amazon affiliate link, because in some of my and I've missed the boat capitalizing on it, but you know, there's tools and things that I could, you know, find them on Amazon but create an affiliate link, so help somebody out and they buy the part, the tool, the thing I'm using in the video, I get a little spiff, you know. I should have always been doing that. And I used to, before Amazon had their affiliate program, I and I mean, it's still active. I just don't push it, but there's a platform called Commission Junction, and it's same deal where where it hooks you up. It's almost like how we kind of do sort of sponsored back in the day. Only like it's not just like for me discount on parts or something, but it's you know, they accept you into their affiliate programs. They're specific. Well, that's how I got all that Rocky Mountain ATV stuff, trail thing, and but there was affiliate links that I put all over my website, and if people went through there and then
I'm going up the backside, so you'll want to come around that corner.
Yeah, you're still on the backside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Where I'm going. But anyway, and then like, so that, you know, like Rocky Mountain ATV, that fit well there. You know, there was occasionally people would go through my site to get to Rocky Mountain ATV. Well, it would track that, and I'd get a percentage of whatever they bought on their total order. You know, it wasn't a lot, but it's something. And then like Haynes and Climber manuals, same deal. I'm in that, or was in that. And then I had chemical guys. I had some other lubricants and stuff that kind of, at least kind of sort of fit, you know. But it was never, again, very passive, kind of like Google AdSense and that, like the ads that are running on your Twitch right now, you know, getting fractions of a penny per times those run, you know.
Yeah.
But again, it's something you were going to do anyways, so it adds up eventually. Not too much, but it does, because ad rates are here, but advertising just isn't worth why you got to do. That's why the people this time have real sponsorships but I don't know. It's something other to think about. I've thought about becoming an Amazon affiliate. It's damn near anybody can do it. I don't think they're too picky. Not about how many subs or anything. Because it's no skin off their nose how many people they sign up. They're going to get the sale either way. You know. Kind of deal. So that might be something to think of, just as a side thing. You'd have to put them in the description of videos and stuff like that. It'd be like, hey, this is the controller I use, the mic or headphone, whatever. Have that link and stuff. That's what a lot of streamers I know were well, any of them. Automotive guys do it too with things. It's just funny. I think back, you know, people used to get all mad, like viewers used to be all mad, and it used to all have to be a secret. You got paid, or and then people were mad that you got paid and stuff. Now it's just kind of like almost. But now it's like viewers kind of, it's accepted, or they understand it. It's like, oh yeah, well, how you're getting supported.
Well, you know, and like everybody on a person that's on Twitch, especially the ones that are getting paid, you know, when someone complains about commercials, it's like, well, you got two choices. well, three
subscribe
choices technically.
or be a Prime member or whatever. Or...
You either sub and then you don't have to watch commercials, which is you have to pay, or you don't pay anything and you watch commercials, and then I still get paid, or you just don't watch.
Yeah,
it's just that simple.
That's the thing, and like there's ad blockers and stuff that work on this stuff, and I don't mind that, but I think most people let them roll, or they sub. Find enough value. I just find that my audience being old, it shifts older outside of the money demographic.
Yeah.
I find that those types. I mean, when I look at my demographics, it's 45 plus, and those, I mean, and then there's boomers that watch, and they're not gonna. Well, I shouldn't say they aren't, because some do, but much less than the younger generation. Just don't say throw a super chat or a and Twitch sub or bits, and actually that's partly why I buy bits and throw some bits while there's people in there, because just to in a way trying to prime it a little bit, like say, oh, this person throwing some bits, maybe I should spend $3 or $4 or whatever it is, and then throw a few, get a few pennies for whatever it is. So I kind of do that, and then I do sub when I remember, or after it laps. I don't stay on top of it like I probably should, but when I noticed I've lapsed, then I resub, because I just resubbed recently. I realized it had ran out.
Well, and technically, not technically. I do have 2 subs right now because Casual subbed. I think he subbed in November and left it on.
But I kind of do that.
I haven't been able to return it back to him, but just been
well, and it's the same thing like my channel membership. Now that
Christmas is over, it won't be so bad, but
well, it's like $5, $6.
Yeah. Or what I get for a sub, it's like it's $6 if you're paying for it, and then it's split. I think it's pretty much split 50-50 or roughly 50-50.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the beauty of like YouTube. YouTube splits on stuff is over 50, but it's basically 50-50 platform.
I am interested in seeing. I told my mom this too. I am interested in seeing what the next this next month's or December's payout is, because I streamed every day for Christmas break, and I think so the first 2 streams were okay. I had a bit of a problem because I was still sick and forgot to change the game, so I kind of screwed up a little bit. But once I got that figured out after like the second day, my streams were doing pretty good up until the only one that I had a bad one on was Christmas or New Year's Day, and I think that was just I know that was just because when I came on, there was a lot of streamers on already, so everybody was going back to their normal streamers, and where I was like the normally don't stream, and where I'm not big as the others are. Everybody was going to what they normally would on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
their normal favorites. Because that's the thing is people have, well, and even I do. I mean, people have their favorites, and you're like, well, okay, well, if this person isn't on, then I'm gonna go to this person, and um, I did watch a lot of streaming over the week too, but part of that was because like Truck and Joe, I would never have gotten a chance to see him normally the way my work schedule is, and
Yeah.
um, so I was like, I wanted to catch him, and um, so anyways, I'm interested in seeing what my next payout is, and I'm already.
Are you hitting the minimum threshold each month yet, or not?
What do you mean minimum
Or
threshold?
whatever the minimum, or
Oh, you mean on the payout?
yeah.
Oh no, no.
Okay.
But I
Because
am.
what is it for Twitch? The YouTube, it's
It's
$100.
it's $50.
Okay.
So
Well, you got to be getting closer.
when I when when I first got my affiliate, I was only making like $2.50 a month,
Yeah, well, that's that I know
and
those days.
um now it's got to be maybe it's more like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, so the reason why it's gone up is because I brought in that I brought in that Adult War game,
Yeah.
and well, even my farm sim, or even this is what amazes me. Even when I bring up Minecraft or something, um, I have 7 people in there. Like most of them are working, but I can I I regularly, I won't say every time I'm on, but I regularly have at least 7 people in there.
Yeah, that seems pretty good for kind of a. I mean, you do almost zero marketing off the platform, so
Yeah. Well, you know what it is. You know, a lot of it is um that's where it's important to go into other people's streams and say hi and let them know that you're there, and then just lurk and maybe say something every once in a while and stuff.
yeah.
Because then they're I won't say everybody that you do that to will do it, but that's where um that's where you pick up some. And then um I also know there's a couple of them that'll they're ones that they'll tab up somebody. They may not necessarily be they may have you turned off volume wise or whatever, but they'll have you tabbed up so that you can make a little bit of money while they're
Yeah.
doing their stream stuff or their work or they're playing or whatever. So
Well,
you know,
see,
and the
and that's what I
front,
like about you YouTube is kind of the residual. See, Twitch is just different. It always has been. But like my I've built up the back catalog is what really carries the new stuff through. And again, I don't do things right to maximize anything, but that's how I get, have eventually for years now. It's been literal 10, 12, 13 years that I can consistently, be paid every month kind of thing. But
yeah,
it's it's cut in half. It's cut in half the way before it was 2 and 3 years ago. And it's just that's the ad rates and like I said, that's why YouTubers and stuff supplement with so much other stuff. But I just don't have time to screw around with and that, and I just can't get enough content out to make that. And then that's the thing, my audience skewing older don't like, they don't even think to, like, oh, I could hit this little part under the video and you know, donate $1 or $5, $10. I mean, sometimes it happens, but like not like I see on other channels that are my size, and
Yeah.
because it's just not a, just not. I don't even want to say it's stinginess. It's just it doesn't even enter their mind because they grew up on TV, which was free, you know, or even if you're paying for cable, you're paying the cable company, but you know, you don't have to pay to watch the show like individually. Figure, you know, it just doesn't. It's just not in the lexicon. Like me, like you probably wouldn't even think about it if you weren't doing what you're doing. You know? Hardly. You weren't a streamer or continually watching stream. You wouldn't think to, oh, I could get $1 and wow, you know, helps keep the content I like rolling. I find it's the younger crowd, my age and younger, that will do that stuff, and I don't. is make more sensational content, gear it towards the audience, but that's just not what I want to do. That's not the stuff I want to do. So it's, I think the how-to stuff is people are drive by to get the information, and I'm not a personality, nor am I really trying to be. So that's why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you're not trying to be a personality either. You're just, I like gaming, and streaming's kind of fun.
You know, I think I kind of found. I think I found what my niche kind of is. I think because I'm on early enough in the morning that, like, okay, so if you're on the East Coast, it's not early, but I'm early enough for everybody else that they're just getting up, drinking their coffee. They don't want, maybe don't want necessarily a loud in your ear or banging with music and stuff. They just, like, I just run with the machines, maybe say something every once in a while. Now, I have noticed that, like, in the beginning, I hardly say a word, and then by the end of the stream, 2 hours later, I'm, like, awake and going, and I may be more talkative. But,
well, I feel like the viewer interaction, though, is a key in it, and I don't do a great job of that. When I'm doing projects, and that's the thing, because I can't have the kids around. Well, I could, but I don't want to, because I don't mind to hear them. It's just I can't reliably keep them out of the camera. So I can't work on something, but like when I'd work on projects and get some of that interaction going, you know, I going like a Friday night. This probably isn't the right night for anything, but again, I'm not in other people's Twitches and saying, hey, by the way, I'm here, you know, kind of thing. I'm not doing that. I don't have time. I don't have the time for that. Like YouTube, I'm involved in, but that's because it's video on demand. I can watch it when I want to and then comment or reply to comments on my own stuff, other people's stuff. And that's, you know, I get around like that. And then I'm active in various Facebook groups that are related to the things I'm doing on the channel, and that's why I almost wonder if you could grow by doing that on the farm side or the auto or these other games. Maybe not Minecraft so much or Fortnite, but like these sim games, you know, interact like we used to do in forums, in various Facebook groups or something, and create create a user for that, a profile for that, for doing just that,
Yeah.
kind of deal. That's Skull Crusher this, so you're recognized. That, I don't know.
Well,
I'm just saying
I,
that
and
might be a thing. That might be a strategy to grow or
I,
get different eyeballs.
but I do know, or at least I feel from what I've kind of gone around, is um if I go into someone else's channel, like, I mean, obviously, if I go into someone new, they're probably not gonna know me. But there's people now in my farm sim community, and or even the out of air community, that I come in and say hi, and they know who I am, or at least, I mean,
Well,
they know the
good. That means you're making progress.
streamer part of me. I got a little bit of a name, and I've heard more than once how they love my name because it's so well, the one guy put it that, like, that is just it's a great name, it's catchy, and it's like something that Twitch isn't gonna make you change ever.
Well, that's the thing. It's weird being us. You gotta to make this work. You gotta at least pretend to be, I guess, or have a little, just a slight narcissism, about yourself a little bit.
No.
You know,
Well,
a little
you
bit
know
for
what?
self promotion reasons. I mean,
I've kind of always, I've especially the last couple of years being an affiliate, but it was more about before I became affiliate. Um, I think it was, when I hit like 20 or 25, 30, somewhere in there, and it's like, maybe 50 was possible. It just takes a little bit to get there, but what I came up with, and a part of it has to do with because it's a farm sim, but um, I call it, I've always called it farming for viewers or farming for followers or
yeah.
whatever, because you got to, like, what I found is it's better to go into other people's streams, um, go hang out in there for a while, or like, and say hi, and um the that person sees it, everybody that's in there sees it, that you're interacting and stuff, and maybe sometime when they do get a chance, they'll come into your stream and check you out, or like, they'll tab you up if they get a chance to, or something. Is So it's like, I've always kind of had that kind of a mentality to it.
Well, yeah, and you know what? That's how, in a small way, that's how I grew on YouTube earlier days. I commented on other people's stuff. I mean, and I made it worthwhile comment. It isn't just like, oh, hi, sub me, but have a bit of a conversation, or at least add value to discussion. And
Yeah.
I found that's never done me wrong, whether it be a Facebook group, a forum, or my own website. Um,
Well,
like, in some people, well, that's where some of the older crowd are like, I know what you're doing. You're just trying to make money. Blah. I'm jealous because you make money doing this thing that I love too. And then there's always those people, or there were those people, I guess. But I feel like that's less and less thing. At least in the communities I'm at, because most people. That's the thing. I'm the exception. It's like, even our peer group, or okay, let's bring it back a little closer home. Think of the people we went to school with. Most of them aren't that don't even, they consume content, they don't create it,
mm-hmm.
you know or it never strikes them that they could. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, again, it took you a long time to sort of come around and see it. Well, okay, come around for you to figure out your little place in it. That's, I guess, maybe a better way to say
And not
it.
only that, but also like, cause I remember, I can remember years and years ago, you wanted me to get into YouTube, and I was like, nah. I mean, like, I just couldn't really see myself doing that or whatsoever, and um, where Mixer and then Twitch kind of came along, and seeing that I already had the, I mean, obviously you had to show me, but I already had the stuff there. I just needed to
Well, right. I guess that was
set
the
it up
thing. Is it's
and
like,
do it. And it's like, yeah, the YouTube thing was probably never, back then it was never really,
well, it wasn't
I don't
easy.
know,
It wasn't easy. You had to want to do the work.
So it wasn't like what I wanted to put my effort into, and like,
Yeah.
it wasn't my niche.
No.
Where it's like,
And yeah.
well, like this stuff, this Mixer and this Twitch came along, and it's more my niche. And
Well,
then
and that's the thing.
now YouTube with the shorts and stuff. Now I kind of sort of got that figured out. I'm still kind of tweaking with it, but I'm not actually willing to do that stuff. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I guess. Well, and what I was trying to just way back when was just like, give it a shot. But and but if it's not your thing, you don't do it. But I guess, like, getting you started on Mixer, it's like, well, hey, it's right here. It's an app. Just turn it on and fumble around. It's like, you don't have to be perfect out of the gate. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, and you figured. I mean, that's old hat stuff now, but like, yeah. But I guess what always drove me to any of this stuff is only any of this stuff. I do it because not a lot of other people. It's
yeah,
I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy learning something new. But a little part of it is you're at a party, you're at a function or whatever, and you get to talking at some, I make stuff on the internet, or I have done this or done that, and like now, now that it's more mature, people have heard of it. They just never have known anybody that do it, or
yeah,
or they don't think a person like me or a person like you could be doing that.
yeah,
And that's part of the kick I get out of even doing it. And that's why it doesn't matter if I'm not great at it or successful, or it's successful to me because I went from 0 to whatever I am now.
well, you know, like one of the guys at work, because he was trying to create some small talk. He he, he kind of blindly walked into this, but he was like, well, how many followers do you have now? And I said, well, I got about 140, because this was a few weeks ago. And
And
I
that's
said,
still
well,
pretty impressive because I've been stuck at
I,
20 or something for years.
I said, I got 140, and he goes, oh, he goes, that's nice. He goes, well, where did you start at? It was
0.
I just said one. I said, I had my one friend told me to try this, and I tried it, and he was my first follower, and um, I'm like, so I started with one.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
I just wanted to say, where do you think? It was like, I just turned it on one day, and there was like 50 followers right there.
Well, I mean, well, that's another thing, though. You're kind of bringing up is people think that it just, it just happens. Like, no, there's real work. Actually, you work harder at, like, you have to work harder at this to be successful than just going and doing the 9 to 5. That's what I tell people, because they think, because all you hear in the news is the big money people, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's well,
Well,
and that's
but
what people don't
the,
understand.
the
It's
thing,
easier than ever to get started, but then it's harder than ever to really make it a living unless you're just going for broke passion and whatever, you'll make it. But if you're trying to be like us, straddle that line of work life or normal work life family balance, it's it's not gonna happen. It's
yeah.
always just gonna be a little
Even
side
even
project.
the even the big firm simmers, like um one of the bigger ones that I watch, and he he's a real life farmer. I mean, he does stuff in real life.
See, and I don't
He
understand how he has
didn't quit
time to
his.
then get online and cultivate. I mean, I get you can do a little bit of it, but to be that successful and do the real thing, I guess. Because hell, I'm here. I had to make a choice tonight: go put the cylinder on my bike and be filming it. Little 3-second clips essentially is all I need. But there's 15 minutes a second of setup to get like a 3-second clip I need, and I can't do that without the camera rolling. Just so I can get it ready. So tomorrow, can't start the bike at night, or
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. So I can film 15 seconds, 20 seconds, well, more like minutes, but I'll chop it down of this bike running, okay? Just to finish this going to be 8 to 10 minute video, and
Yeah.
people just don't understand. Like, I had to make a choice tonight. I chose, it's like, well, we hadn't talked in a while, so I wanted to, and you were available. So I decided to shift. But otherwise, I was going to go in the garage and do that, set it up, do my work to get my shots and all that. I mean, when, of course, like I said, the real guys saying, they make it a job, and that's what I never want this to be. It's like a job where, um, on the weekend, okay, I got to get into creator mode, and for 8 hours a day, the creator stuff. Like, well, then what
Yeah.
about everybody else? Even if I was single like you got other stuff, people in your life you want to enjoy,
Yeah.
so there's only so much time. So I think that's a part that the average people don't fully understand. Anyway, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be
Oh, he left the. He's still on the tractor, so I can't do anything.
All right. Not full yet.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I commend the ones I watch that, put in the hours to make stuff, Like the streaming, because it's in real time. Just the ones that just do it that are gotta almost be perpetually on. That's how you could get to 1,000. But I mean, well, when do you sleep? When do you do your other stuff?
Yeah.
I think you got it. I think you got it balanced out pretty. That's well, like these younger. I'm watching. I watch some of these younger YouTubers. More pop culture stuff, video essay types, and I'm like, they're in their say late 20s and early 30s, and they're like, oh, I'm old and stuff. It's like, please, kind of thing. But I'm like, and some of these they've amassed, now they're doing it full time. But I mean, they got to still just grind it out. It isn't like they can just coast because, like, you gotta to pay that rent, to pay that, it's pretty volatile.
Yeah.
They got to get their, they have their Patreon or their whatever and stuff, and create all this extra content.
Well, and that's why I was like, I've always kind of wondered. I don't know for sure. I've talked to a few of them and kind of know a little bit about it, but that's where I kind of wanted, kind of interested in the people that make mods for this game because, um, I think it's the same thing. Like they come home from their work day and then it, I guess technically I think they to them it's fun to do what they do, which is good
I'm
because
sure
it
it is,
means that.
but like, I
But
look
I'm
at it
looking at
like,
it like because I wouldn't if I'm looking at it because like okay, well I can 3D model. uh, Could I possibly do this? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I just don't know because um it
well, you
just seems like more work. But some of these guys like like I said, they do have jobs. Some of them don't. And then what amazes me is some of them also have their own Twitch account or their own YouTube account, and they're making money on that, and then they have their own Patreon, and it's like, well, how did you have time to build a channel
yeah, well,
and pick up viewers and do and then mod on top of it, you know?
that's just it. I mean, I can barely get out. Again, it is. I could work a lot harder at it, but then it's like, oh, here's how my schedule is. Up in the morning, go to work, come home, kids to play with or keep them involved in stuff. And then when they go to bed, that's the little bit of time I have to do what I want to do. Well, sometimes, it's been one of those days I just want to sit and zone out to somebody else's YouTube content or we
Mm-hmm.
or occasionally watch some stream and stuff. We watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of other YouTubers, and I knew it because they're they're in some of them are within my community, others aren't. But I get ideas, and I have these ideas for these video ideas. But it's just I mean, it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was easier before kids to do it, but even then, um, it was a bit of a grind to grind through it. I mean, I I still think back to and thing my core audience clamors for more motorcycle restoration. That's what I'm doing here. But like when I did those two bikes, I just did them straight through. Uh, it, I mean, every day without many breaks. I came home from work, went straight to the garage, and worked till 10, 11 at night. And all I did was I needed to film if I needed, do the actual work. So, like if it's polishing chrome or polishing aluminum or, you know, doing the paint work and all that. I had to do that. I just did that and each one of those like took 4 to 5 months just to do the filming and do the bike and then edit it after the well, some of it I was editing as I was going a little bit, trying to help with that, but you know, and I think I did that pretty quick, but it was oh, it was it was fun, but it was just a lot of work and difficult, and I didn't know exactly what I was doing, and now I know more than I did then about certain things. I wished I'd done some things, filmed it a little different, edited a little bit, all that, presented a little different, but and in the end it was successful, but it took years for it to even take off, and that and then I made carburetor videos and all that other stuff. It still gets the view. I'm glad I did it, but like I said, the competition in that space is a lot stiffer. Too, fortunately, I made a little bit of a name for myself early on. Just it's like if you were gonna really go for it, you'd have to get home after work, just start a stream for 6 hours, because that's what
and, I
and
mean,
do you really, would you burn out on it? Maybe. I don't know.
I burn out on it now. I mean, there's, there's like this isn't. There's times where I'm just like, do I really want to work on the field tonight? No, I don't. I'm just like, I'll just watch a movie instead or something.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I already even on FS25, I already that map I'm working on. I've even already been burned out of it. I had to take ended up taking like a 2 week break from it. Um, so it's like I've already even burned out of it a little bit, but um,
well, I guess that, yeah.
but there are those nights where it's just nice to just be like, man, I just want to work a field and just like relax and not think about anything and just go back and forth and
Yeah. I get it. Because there's even some video ideas that I have that are more, kind of silly that I'd like to do just to do them. Like make some stop motion stuff.
yeah.
But it's just that once I started, I gotta have a end goal. That kind of thing. You just start and stop and that's like these two bikes. I got two videos out pretty quick, uh, stuff, and I wanted to get the final. Well, it isn't the final one. Final one as far as okay, had a broken, reason it wasn't running, had a broken piston. Had to go through the discovery of that. now I'm this close from finishing up. I wanted to get it done to get it released. Really, I wanted to get it released before Christmas, but I had to wait on parts. I had to get one part from Singapore or whatever, and it takes to get here, and you
Mm.
know, so I just couldn't. I had family stuff and all that to do, and traveling and whatnot, so I just couldn't get it done. It'll might might be able to get it. My goal is to get it released next week. It'll happen when it happens. But, I can't. I wish I could be on more of a schedule with stuff. Just can't. I just don't at this point in time. Just don't have it in me to just grind through stuff day, make something every. And that's the thing, you brought up shorts. Yeah, there's some shorts I thought of. I got ideas and I got written down, and I have some stuff half fit. I got projects half done, half started that probably will never finish. If I have a I have a movie I started. I guess
Yeah,
I started filming back in 2015, and I got
yeah.
all the shots. It's never gonna finish it because I had the general gist is it was gonna be well very light on the script, but what it was going to be is a very atmospheric kind of video, long form video, I guess, but like a bunch of connected shots riding across a couple states. And I had, but like starting in the mountains and stuff. So I have all this like kind of epic like footage of me riding and then just scenery and all this, and it's never gonna it's never gonna finish. Never gonna get.
I was wondering. I mean, I always think about asking, and then it's like, well, he must either not be working on it or.
Yeah, well,
Um,
and again, that's a thing where I'd have to take a week off work, and all I go do. Nobody out.
well, that's what I felt like with the t-shirts is like I just needed to take time off and work on them, and I mean, kind of getting back into that again. I mean, it's just with that, it was just it's also learning. I mean, I wasn't expecting to learn anything this week. I thought I was gonna have it actually done, but here I kind of failed a little bit again, and I kind of learned a little bit more, and I know I have a couple of I have a couple of ideas of what I can do. And then we even got more ideas tonight. So
Yeah. Well, and that's it. You talk about the skirts. Like I said, I need to revamp or maybe just scratch things and start over on a different platform with. And like I was telling you, I'm not. I made some changes. I've never been super happy with it. Promoted a little better.
well, and speaking of that, like making changes and having to change platforms and stuff. I had a little incident with my OneDrive last week. It was because I think FS22 used to back up on the laptop to it. Is
Yeah.
where things got went awry, but um, I was keeping my shirt designs on my OneDrive because my thought was that if something like that ever happened where I needed to pull the pull the designs again because something got updated and they're not working right, it would be in my OneDrive, and that probably isn't going to go anywhere, so to speak. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
little bit longer lasting. And the other part is, I was thinking about like, well, okay, say I do it on the laptop, and we get about 5 years down the road, don't have that laptop anymore because it's old and broken, and I'm on a new laptop or I'm on the PC, and I need to pull up those designs. I want to make that shirt again, and I've already done the work, but it's been 5 years and whatnot. Well, I wanted to keep it in my OneDrive because then if I ever needed to pull it up again, I could.
Yeah. Well, and like my OneDrive is dang. Some things like that. Again, it's funny you're talking about this stuff because I've been getting more and more serious about this is a different problem, but a home server type situation, so I can have Katie's got pictures, all my video, the raw files, and there's a few things I've lost, like some of that early stuff. I have the tapes, but I need that's the project too is sent because I have converted some myself, but I know a professional better equipment can get better.
Mm-hmm.
There is even on those tapes some stuff that's bad. No, I got files and stuff going back to 2004 that I'm storing, video and picture and that stuff. I mean, and of course that's how it. But I sure because I had the camera with me. But again, tape was expensive back then, so we were kind of using it sparingly. I sure wished I would have filmed even more than what I got. I'm glad I got what I got. Film more, trailer house stuff or just that kind. When we were doing just oddball, not even the party stuff. Talking.
But you see that I don't know how we could have filmed more. I mean, like, because we had when it seemed like I know when we were writing, we had the camera rolling all the time. But
yeah, and there's like your tapes and stuff because I know there's stuff on your tapes that ought to be archived too.
And the other thing I think of is like I think with the trailer, it just feel like the stuff that we didn't tape would have been just the in between stuff, like talking about doing whatever, not the.
Well, yeah, but
not
even
the
then,
interesting stuff.
Yeah, but even then, that would have kind of been fun to have. I can think, when we go out and work on somebody's or.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, the early stuff like that, maybe, because I know there have been nights at Jeff's that we don't have taped.
Yeah, well, there's that little bit because Heather was there,
Yeah.
And that's always the trouble. We want to be in the videos, so who's going to film? Or we're doing the thing, So, yeah, I just, I'm glad we got what we got, but there's just I wish at times I would have gotten more. But like my mini DV tapes, those get exactly what they were, but they were like 10 tape. I mean, and you only got an hour's worth on there, So yeah. But I need to get archived here. I did some recent stuff, and it's okay, but I feel like Pro could get better captures. I have had, well, kind of back on that, and I know we've kind of it's over or on stream, maybe off stream, but of like kind of So now that you got your Discord set up, or we know how to use Discord, get Derek in and maybe do a live stream watch party at some of the old stuff. The stuff that's already up, but just kind of, but try to make it where it get an audience a little bit for it. Maybe where we stop it and reminisce a little or talk a little bit. I guess sometimes that's where I wish we had a few other, even pictures. We should have had those fun. Should have been buying them fun savers and doing those things, just to have something, more than. Well, I remember even my early camera. Memory was expensive, so I didn't take a lot of pictures because, didn't have any way to save them for the longest time.
Well, you always had that. Well, I mean, even Brooke has that problem with her nice camera. Like, you always have to remember to take the pictures off so that you have room.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to store those, and then store them, and cloud storage gets ate up quick. And that's, again, going back to, me and Katie have been talking about it, and I've been watching various videos and trying to figure out, I don't need anything fancy. I want something easy. Well, there's no such thing as a true plug and play, but as close to plug and play where I can have, like, I figured it up. If I could have 12 terabytes of storage, easily accessible, on my home network, that would solve a lot of problems. Because Katie's got an external drive that she puts stuff on. I got hard drives looking up, camera on, but I'm looking up at a bin that has probably 10 old hard drives out of every computer I've owned that has stuff on. And some of it's duplicate data, and then I have 2 sitting on my desk, and then I have a 4 terabyte in this thing that's getting full, and and it all needs to be in one place because these drives eventually aren't going to just start up. I have a little drive sled to put internal drives in that power them up and spin them up. I want to grab something out, look at something. I mean, sometimes it's like old albums you haven't seen. It's files you hadn't seen in for, but just a way archival. Not even true backup, but I'd have it in. So like I'd have like say 2 12 terabyte drives and have them so they're mirroring each other. So if one fails, the other one storing the good stuff and then get it replaced or whatever. But like, I got too much for like, Google Drive without paying out the nose, and storage. That's the thing. I mean, it's a very unique problem because most people don't have that much much data. They're hoarding. but that's a thing that I think this year as a goal is to get something set up so I can have all our devices able to connect to it to access dump files too, because there's stuff we take on our phones that want archived.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great cheap solution. I mean, this solution I'm talking about here, minimum $500, which to IT people, nothing. me, that's a lot. But and again, it's something that'll have to be. I don't. I everybody just it's all well. Certain pictures are if you upload them there, but not everything, and you don't want everything there, and it's not really an archival place because
No, well,
there's
and
no guarantee that it'll be there forever, and and their privacy
well,
concerns.
and with people like, um, I mean, cloning doesn't necessarily. I mean, it hurts you, but in a different way. But like, if someone hacks your account and for some reason you never get control of it again, then you've lost it all.
Well, that's it, and well, that's the thing, and even well, look at MySpace. I mean, I had a bunch of pictures on there, Brooke, you, and Kid, and stuff from those early days. I mean, I archived a lot, but it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. Not only that, but I'm not so sure that I didn't save the emails that I got from like the monster trucks and people and
well, I
and
know
stuff
I have
like that.
some. I do.
Just going on. I mean, just going on to it. I mean, so.
Oh, I have some of that stuff. Yeah. I haven't deleted any of that. Because yeah, sometimes it's fun to go back and read some of that, or there's pictures in there, and a lot of that stuff is I have it archived too. Different. Yeah, but I mean that's the thing I think of. Even like on YouTube. I mean, yeah, my fully edited videos there, but the raw files, it has all the other parts in. Are on these hard drives. Because like even the stuff that's got you and Jeff and Derek and all, that's edited down from hours worth of just kind of arguably garbage that nobody
I know.
Nobody but us would even want to watch hardly.
Yeah.
You're just picking out the best stuff that sort of made a video. Of course, back then, we're editing and our goal was sort of a crusty, making crusty style videos.
Mm-hmm.
That what's funny is I shared one. Oh, this has been a back now. Kind of just say, take a look at it. Let me see what you think. But also remember, this was like emulating the late 90s, early 2000s, like dirt bike video that where it was like these segments. You put together these segments. That's you weren't really telling a story, but it was almost like a travel log of events or things you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look at it almost, and that's how I was putting it together when I put it together. It's kind of like a video scrapbook, I guess, of what we did. Not every, it's not every ride and all that, but it's all the best stuff we had from those rides.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, like, I mean, crusty videos, well, and the other videos like those, they were, we even used to joke about it in the group how they would take off and go to Africa this week and go right in the dunes, and then next week they were. Well, I mean, they made it look like next week they were. Or chances are it was probably like months apart or something.
Well, of course they were, but yeah, it was
like
and
the next week they were in Brazil or something, and it's like, well, we obviously don't have the budget to do that.
Yeah, but if you think about it, I mean, well, and that's another deal. I mean, I was thinking about it at the time. Like, I don't know that too many, at least area, too many other riding groups or people who get together and ride. They're not, well, documenting it for one thing, but they're not doing or doing it like we're doing it. They're not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, sure, there was we were the only I would say we were the only regulars at Jesse's, but I mean, went to the other places. Um, but again, with our meager budget and time and all that, we went and did a lot of things, I think.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you know. But at the end of the day, though, too, that's, should be pretty. People could look at it that way. It should be pretty relatable because that's what most people do. They have their favorite ride area or places. They go and they ride. They do things, and uh, we we kind of went all over a little bit.
Yeah.
and it was, I mean, and we rode every weekend, damn near, for years.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
years, if you think about it, a lot of riding.
Yeah.
Well, and then like you bring up the monster truck deal, that just kind of fell out of nowhere.
Well, that all started because that one guy was down in Elma riding, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be riding in this thing next week."
Yeah. Well, and then just the racing, but then the where we put on the show. I mean, yeah, it was silly, but people were into it. I mean, it, we put on a show. I mean, that's it is kind of wild when I think about it, because that is so niche, and I mean, just it was literally almost spur of the moment, almost very little planning. I mean, the minimum of it, and they for MC got the crowd going and hyped, and we were able to make people think that we're rival groups, that that was, I mean, when I think of it, it's like, I mean, it was kind of like a clown show, but we put on a show. We entertained. I mean, it wasn't like boo, it wasn't like, oh, this is stupid, or boo, or whatever,
No.
We're heckled. I mean, we were heckled the way that we were intended.
Yeah. Yeah. It worked out like it was supposed to.
Yeah.
I think about afterwards though, like when I got an email from Monster Jam to do it, because it's like they wanted me to they there was a couple things there, because they were like not explaining it well enough for me to kind of understand. They were just kind of like, well, we kind of want you to come to Omaha or Kensal Bluffs, I can't remember where it was, one of those places, and do it. And I'm like, but they weren't like coming out and asking me. They were just like, well, could you come do this weekend? And it's like, well, not really, because I already have plans that weekend. And it's like, on top of it, I don't know if you understand, because out here it was like had had some friends, but then we also had to have the company that was hiring us to do it, I guess technically, like they had to kind of help get enough guys rounded up for it too, because we didn't have enough in just our group. And I'm like, I don't know if you necessarily understand that, like, I can't just make this happen like I did before. But then I think about it now. I was like, I would have loved to done it, but I just don't think it would have worked out with them.
Right. Well, it's just like what we've been talking about all along. That is just we're got a regular life. That's what really matters. You got a job. I had a getting out of college kind of thing too.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I mean, there's times where I think it's like, should we just, you know, that was our one chance to maybe put all that aside and not really give it a go to make a living, but just to go all in and then pick up the pieces after the, you know.
Well,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just not that
mean,
big of a risk taker on that kind of.
well, that's the thing is like, okay, um, where would I have gone? Like, okay, it could maybe somehow have led to maybe driving monster trucks, but that would be like kind of a dream scenario more than anything.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, I don't know where it would have led, and it was like, but like I said, I mean, just to put the people together would have been
Well, that's it. It would
too hard.
be learning that all on the fly. And you know, I think back now, it's like that's why I say should have filmed more, should have filmed more. I could have put together something now that I know more then. I mean, but again, YouTube, social media, thing, self promotion was so much harder back then. But it's like, shoot, we could have, you know, my pipe dream was always MGR could have been, oh, like you see some of these channels that do stuff. I'll use Nitro Circus as an example, but maybe not that far in, but just be a, a content creation company, you know, where we all contribute. But again,
Yeah,
that
I
wasn't
don't,
even but that wasn't a thing back then. I mean, it was like if you think of like Warren Miller and Krusty, that kind of stuff. But I mean, God, they're the startup capital they already had just to do, and they were doing it on shoestring, but it was way out of our realm, you know. But I
well,
guess
okay, I don't think we would have probably been like, um, oh, what'd you say?
well, I'm thinking more like Krusty. Not, I mean, I mentioned Warren Miller. I mean, that was already a dynasty.
But I think we could have done more like it would have been. I think it would have been a cross between um, Junkyard Digs and the one we were watching that Motor Trend put on
Oh,
for a
like
while.
Roadkill. Well, yeah,
Yeah, it would be more killish, but because they are a little bit more like they have a little bit more antics to what they do, but um,
but
I
like at
think
the
it'd be kind of a it would have been somewhere like that.
but like at the time, I couldn't see truly how how you how we how to monetize that, you know, outside of
Yeah,
getting some sponsor that's just going to pay you to go mess around. That's the only thing I could see. Like, yeah, but who's going to pay us essentially like a salary, give you a budget to screw around? You know, you know, they're just like the idea was there, but it's just I couldn't see how to do it. I don't think any
yeah,
of us, because we're also thinking about, well, you know, have something to fall back on. You're
yeah.
starting a career. Me, again, getting out to start a career. You know, that would have been very risky, and I don't
But
know.
I think we could have. I think we could have done it like if things would have come together. I think we could have done it like uh Roadkill, where it looked like they just did things on the weekends, at least in the beginning. You know,
Yeah, but again,
I think we could.
they had
I think
a
we
bit
could
of a
have. I
crew
think we could have
behind them
done
though
something like
too.
that. Now throwing a dart at a map and then flying, you know, to wherever probably wouldn't have ever happened. But
Yeah, but I don't
that's
know.
what I think. That's where I think it'd been more like junkyard digs, where it's like, okay, well, we could drive across the state and pick something up.
Yeah, but see, we were already in a way doing some of that stuff. Just it was real local. It's just there's no way to share it, no way to monetize it, no way. I mean, granted, we made our very first videos, doing the two VCR method. Oh, haha! Look, we made a movie, kind of thing. Made each other copies, but like, no, I just didn't have enough of the vision to it, and then of course, again, there's no regrets, but it's like we just couldn't see how to fit it all in, and there would have been more planning than I think we were ready to accept because we kind of just did things.
Well, not only that, but I can remember like the monster truck for one example, but then also the rapid turnover. I mean, literally, those kind of things literally fell in our laps. So it's like
Exactly, because yeah, the
we're,
rapid turnover I think
we
was a
weren't
post in the
looking to do
forum.
them. It was just being at the right place at the right time and getting the right email or
Or at that time, I think that was posted in the ATV forum, and both of us were
the,
active there.
the the rapid turnover was in the
Yeah,
ATV forum.
exactly.
The monster truck deal was an actual written email to me.
Well, yeah, but you're right. You're right. It was just we were just in the right place, right time. I mean, granted, when I
But
was
that
out here with the pit bike racing, I was kind of looking for things, and I tried to, make a thing of that, and did some. But again, it just that stuff was so in its infancy. It was just we we weren't quite enough creative types to see
well,
it through, or entrepreneurial, I guess.
the other thing is, I think maybe we were a little bit ahead of time too, because if we were to say we were in high school now, or just coming out of high school and college now,
Or even about
or
10 years ago. Yeah.
that age, I think now we would have been like, oh yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, well, and that's why the kids that are successful on different platforms are, because yeah, it's a thing you can do. There's sort of, but there's help. It's platforms are there, whether TikTok, Twitch, or a combination of, yeah, I mean, well, hell, like, yeah, Junkyard, or if you look at some of the big automotive, their whole teams they built out. It's kind of, or do
Yeah.
these kind of, hell, we were some of that, yeah, roadkill. Of course, that had the backing of a freaking magazine.
Yeah,
uh, but
I mean, the one guy was even like
yeah, Freiberger's editor. I mean,
the main editor, yeah, for the magazine. So
but I mean, we just we didn't have a way to build a reliable audience because again, our stuff that I've put on YouTube now was only ever seen by us, if each other, because he had the VHS tapes. It's like there was no way to distribute it. Yeah, I think you're right in a lot of respects. We were just too early. By the time it matured, where like the equipment got cheaper, places to find the audience became more accessible. We were, well, say too old, but we were too old too mature in our lives. Again, we have careers, families
yeah,
now, and things, and it just priorities shifted. Yeah, you're right. I think if it was high school, college, we would do it without even thinking it. It would be a
Yeah.
thing we would have a reasonable following amongst us. I get well, and then if we're all back together, we'd be making something every week.
Mm,
I some kind of content. Best stuff in the world, probably not, but would it be something somebody would be watching? Yeah, I believe it would be. You know, especially if they're live streaming, you all sitting around, get the cameras and be MGR chat or we would have come up with something. All our stuff was all you had to be, was all back in the day when it was you had to be,
yeah.
in which that's kind of fun, but it's also it's just there, and you're taking this full circle, just like with you doing this farm simulator, other games and live stream. You know, you've met up with people you'd never even know about. You labbed with some of other like-minded people. We would have found other Tom Creeks, of the world, kind of get integrated.
Or the guy that I can't think of his name now.
Matt,
The
the
one that
unknown rider.
the,
Yeah. Yeah, that just had a bike in his back, saw bikes. Well, and that, I mean, it's funny you bring that up because I hadn't thought about that until this second, but it's like, yeah, people would just see our stuff and be like, where are you going? And they would just follow, you know? Or we'd sort of draw a crowd to a certain extent. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you could argue we were a little bit of the head of the curve. It's just we didn't have the means or really try to go all in at it.
you know.
Because Team MGR I kind of always saw as like how some of these more automotive type YouTube channels, how they operate. There's everybody's got their place. They're their own little personality or their own little contribution to. I just, it was always just more kind of a cosplay for us because never could really figure out, well, how could we really take advantage of this? Build something, well, and make money. Make money,
Yeah.
or at least, well, you know what? Not even make money, just cover our costs for the things we want to do.
That's I mean in the beginning okay, I take that back. Some of the things in the very beginning we probably would have done even if we couldn't make money just because we thinking like we were back then, like if we were, or like if we're 20 now, I think we would have been like, okay, let's go buy that bike and fix it up and run it on a Mountain Dew bottle with
Yeah.
gasoline.
Well,
and
you know what? That's a good example. Yeah, when Derek showed up with that, we were in the Mountain Dew bottle gas tank. I mean, I had my camera there. Why didn't I film that? I don't know, because we were too busy working on the bike. Oh, hey, welcome from Texas. Miss you there. we're talking about our old days riding motorcycle. Anyway, but yeah, I mean that would have been something. Well, but I did in some of my early videos. I would put some of that. But there was so much of that we just weren't even.
But I think that's where it probably would have started, and maybe then from there, like say it actually was becoming successful, then it would turn into, okay, we made a little bit of money at this, but instead of like taking this money and splitting it up. Let's like say it's like $300. Let's go get a $300 car and do this with
Well,
it, and then
just all the antics and things with the Mighty Needle. Oh, we could have done the cobbled together parts just to keep that old pickup going, and the that was almost like the community pickup to a certain extent. Everybody either owned it or drove it at one point in time, other things. Well, and the four wheelers, the junkers, that old 250X. I mean, that was kind of the community four wheeler, and
yeah.
sort of, everybody sort of owned it at one point in time. Jeff's bikes, work on them every weekend the night before. And then get into racing and all that, and just there's content. There was content there. I mean, and like sometimes I look through my archives and I'm like, could I re-edit this and I know I've done some commentary videos on it. That's why I was thinking maybe a watch party of some of this old stuff might be fun for us, but also maybe worthy content, right audience. Just because I think it'd be somewhat relatable. I mean, hell, a big trip to Colorado we did. That think about it. That's kind of an impressive thing we did. Just all of us, gathered up, and we had to borrow trailers and things just to get everything there, and all piling into two vehicles.
I think no, we took 3.
Well, 3, right, 3, but yeah, and Jeff falling in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? Gamertron 6, you're right. We've been talking about maybe doing kind of a amongst me and Skull Crusher here, but even get some of my old riding buddies on here and do kind of a watch party deal. I mean, some of this is up on YouTube. You go back into my archives. I mean, I've been on YouTube 2006. So there's videos that go back to then, and some of that's on there. So if you wanted to watch them, but I think doing it on a live stream where we kind of start and stop, and we can tell our little stories, other things that happen that aren't in the video, or hey, this is what we were thinking at the time, or oh, I remember that. Just a little bit of reminisce. Maybe maybe certain viewers might get some entertainment, or they have their own, would be able to relate in some of this, their own experience riding back. Well, it's more modern times, but we're doing this stuff back before the internet was the internet. There was barely an internet when we stuff. Yeah, we should definitely put that on the list of things we do on live stream.
Yeah.
And getting Derek, and he got to have him. 3 of us, and some stuff. I mean, it'd be nice to get, say, Sean or somebody. I just don't know that level of. I'm talk to him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even like Jeff. I talked to him. Oh, actually, a few. But I mean, communicate is. But he's so busy. Again, we all grew up. Got a
I don't
family
even.
of his
I
own.
don't.
And
I don't even communicate with him as much as I should. He's got a car of mine, so
yeah. Well, it just happens. We different ways. Me and you've been fortunate enough to well, I think, and Derek make the effort to stay
Yeah.
as much as Derek's more offline.
I need to call him. I was gonna try and talk to him over Christmas break, and
Well, that's the thing. Me and him have actually talked quite
it turned out
recently.
that
It's just not for very long because it's always especially where we got kids in 4-H and stuff. When he calls, it's like I'm in a 4-H meeting. Call him back when we're driving home, and there's like 10 minutes. Because I don't know about you, but it's like when me and him go, it's like a 3-hour conversation.
Mom and I aren't usually that long. We're usually like an hour.
Ours
Yeah.
are. Actually, Nikki and Katie they have to be like, okay, guys, that's enough. But yeah. But yeah, let's keep that at the front of our mind, a watch party of some of this old. Maybe I'll dig up some, appropriate but never before seen, or more raw, I guess, video, like the unedited, possibly. Again, but that's partly why the conversation around the whole having a NAS, a home server, where I can just have quick access to these files rather than having to load up a disk drive in my little sled here, listen to it sit here and spin at 7,000 RPM or whatever they spin at on the disk. Not how you're supposed to store data. But yeah, let's keep that in mind, and maybe we do it over multiple streams too. It doesn't even have... Yeah, I'll make a promo video or something for it, posts or something. Well, I'm glad you'd watch it. Are you a follower of mine? I don't recognize your name there, Ron. Not, please follow. I'm over on YouTube. Give me a subscribe and ring that bell over there. Junkman on YouTube. Junkman everywhere. Because actually have videos like that on my channel. I trying to amass viewers that oh, okay, I'm not okay, you're a cousin of Skull Crusher. Okay, I guess I don't recognize.
Yeah. Well, it's John.
Oh, is it? Why aren't you using Swanee Charger?
No, not that John.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I know who you're talking about. Okay. Well, of course you'd watch it because you know some of the people in the videos. Okay. Well, I didn't recognize your name. Well, I guess. Yeah. Well, you're probably subscribed to me on YouTube. If not,
well, he's watched our Halloween specials.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say watched.
I didn't
he played trivia with us on Halloween.
Well, I didn't recognize the username. Well, yeah, I think it is too, because there's some motorcycle groups that I could promote it in, just for some interaction. If they heckle us a little, oh, look at those squids. Still, we're young. We didn't one. Everybody's been. Oh, gee, about 10 o'clock. Rolling here.
2 hours.
About 2 hours. Well, that's about how long we. Tell you what, let's one more time and call it a. We're damn near done, but we're not. We can probably get it done in another stream.
Yeah. This is like in the endless field, and usually I've been like, usually on this map I've been working on it off stream, but I just haven't like with this one because I think we started this not long before FS25 came out, like maybe a few weeks
Well,
before.
yeah, but
So like,
we've taken a little bit of a hiatus.
besides, like I've never really worked on this map to get this ahead.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Casual asks me occasionally. He's like, are you guys done with that potato field?" No.
Well, I think next stream we will, because finally I don't have to drive clear around. Well, I've been driving.
The other thing is, like, I could do this on another map because we've got Casual's big sugarcane field to do too. Which if they should come out with that map, I should when they come out with that map, I may have to put Sugar King on there, especially for him. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's about bedtime.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't. That kind of that
Yeah.
story or idea. That might be a. And I don't know. You know, we'd have to think about what night. Well, I mean, obviously it has to work.
Well, I think
But I don't know. Friday nights might not be. Friday night might not be. I don't know. Weekend would. I don't know. I guess maybe I should do a poll on my view. Hey. You know, I don't expect to have 50 views, but it'd be nice to have 10.
yeah. Some like that I would maybe put on my Twitch, but then I could also like
Well, we could figure out how to simul stream it so you could, you know, on yours and mine.
well, I could put it on. What I was thinking, anyways, was like I was thinking of putting it on my Twitch, like streaming it on my Twitch, and then downloading it and posting it to my YouTube later.
Now, I mean, like, depends on what we watch. You know, there might be some copyright. No biggie, I guess. There, it's like YouTube, or just have to sometimes. That'll be a thing I'd have to think through. The raw footage, engines, like we watch some of my edited stuff. Either just have to just accept that Twitch and YouTube are gonna get a little cranky about some.
Well, uh, as long as we're either talking louder over it or
I feel
you know,
like
kind of keeping
YouTube's
it down low.
like
Twitch
for
is
me,
probably not
YouTube.
gonna.
Like I feel like
Twitch is probably
YouTube,
Twitch is probably not gonna say anything as long as you can kind of control the volume and talk over it.
well, like I said, it's not gonna be volume, but again, like I said, YouTube's a place that's like sometimes like I'm not worried about a strike or anything. It's just like, well, I may not be able to monetize this but you know, but I'm not, but no, you know, but that's not a huge thing because like some of those streams where I was doing printing, I thought I had a clean stream of royalty free music. Well, apparently there was a few in there that weren't, and they got dinged, got hit or revenue shared. But like, well, get like 100. And anyway, again, and not well, and that's the thing. It's not too big a deal. It's like, well, not not doing this for the money because there ain't no money in it. So if one video, one stream can't get monetized, whoop de doo.
Well, Mike, I can tell them I'm pretty my so far my crankiest platform has been Facebook.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And what's even funnier is it's not my new content. They're going back through the old content that I put out like I don't know 4 or 5 years ago,
Like the
three
old
years
Mixer
ago.
stuff because they bought Mixer and
Well, and then the other thing about it is the other thing about it too is like I had one that got dinged, and I'm like, okay, but no big deal. And then I get an email from Facebook, and it was like, nope, you're good on that one. We're not dinging you for it. It's like, well, this was like a week later. It's like, well, make up your mind. I'm like, like on top of that, I'm like, I don't know why you're worried about this because this isn't a platform I'm making any money off of, and it's not ever going to be set up to make money off of,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe they'll change things now, but it definitely wasn't set up that way.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna park it.
Um, let me do this. Just
Yeah.
end.
Well,
There we go.
yeah. I mean, I'll put some thought in, or put some
I
thought in,
my
like what, like I'll go through archives and kind of see what I have, what would be good, what we could watch, what we could talk about, or reminisce on, and then tell a little more up of it.
well, the other thing is like, yes, you could decide whatever weekend you think would work, but you might also just consider finding a weekend, a night that Derek could do it, because that'd probably make more of a difference of whether
Well,
we're
that
gonna.
I would yeah, to have him on it, kind of like I'd more plan it around him than anything. First off, got to figure out, well, what the hell will we? So I need to look that up, and me and you could kind of talk, and we need to do a testing. Just use Discord for this, where like I can host the file, go my side, but you can hit how pull that feed. Well, hey, there's going to be a little bit of thinking about how to do. Just need it so Derek can in there. We'll do all the technical
I,
stuff. you know.
I, I think. This is just me spitballing. I think that um, I was thinking maybe you could share it through Discord somehow.
Well, no, I
But
know there is a
if
way to do that
but
through
if not,
Discord. I just
but if not, we should be able to do a co-star on Twitch.
yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I
okay.
know I have that I know I have that tool. I don't know how it works or anything, but I mean I think there's, yeah, it's like you said, you probably have to just test things out and
Yeah, because again, I'd be doing is probably playing. I'm not gonna be playing it from you. I'll more than likely wouldn't be playing it. Something I uploaded to you already. I'd probably be playing like the raw files. So I'm gonna play locally on my computer, but I'm gonna have to now do it through Discord, be able to pick up that stream. So um, of the video, but again, I'll I'll try to look into it and then think of something, testing. I know, like I said, I know it's a thing you can do. I just don't know the ins and outs of how to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's well, I suppose I call that a stream. Yeah, about